Hello, and welcome to the Rivalry podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're so happy you are listening with us on a Thursday.
This beautiful Thursday, our favorite day.
Thursday. We're in the month of love.
The month of love. We're in the studio. The vibes are high.
The vibes are high. I know I feel like I just sound really mellow, but I'm trying to just be like,
keep it cool.
Keep it cool. But we're having a great day. Things are good.
We spent the day together, which is very nice. A nice treat.
A nice treat. It's always a treat, Sarah.
Celebrating our friendship.
And we hope you feel the same way, that you're having a treat here listening with us today.
I know.
We want you to feel like you're part of this conversation, as always.
And I was just feeling like this is like an early Galentine's Day thing because I'm going away. So this was like a nice little Galentine's Day.
Galentine's Day hang. That's what we did.
Of us together. Okay, let's talk. I want to know.
Got our nouveau as usual.
Merci, nouveau. I was going to ask you too. What are you and Jeff doing for Valentine's Day? I love hearing people's Valentine's Day plans. Tell me.
If you're watching, I've gone very themed. This might be the second time I've ever got any like art on my nails. Anyway, I realized like Valentine's is such a fun thing. I just think everything about pink. I mean, whatever color, but to me, it means like pink, red, love, happiness, candies, chocolate, it's like a fun day. My mom would always give me like a Valentine's chocolate, like when I was younger and stuff. I don't know what we're doing. I've planned nothing. I think we're going to the brasserie. That's all. That's like,
It's kind of fun though to have a date.
To go out for dinner on Valentine's Day?
No, I think it's nice to go out for dinner on Valentine's Day. I bet Jeff's going to have a few little surprises up his sleeve. If I were to guess, I think Jeff is a man who has flowers lined up, maybe a few chocolates.
Chocolate. I do like chocolate.
I think he'll have those things. And I don't picture him as a teddy bear guy. So I think
no.
I think you would be so upset.
He did give me a teddy bear once when we were first dating. It was a polar bear from Build-A-Bear because I had a polar bear growing up and I lost it and he replaced it. It was cute.
You know what? That's very sensitive. And I see that about Jeff. We're in the process of creating a video called montage of all the ways Jeff is the greatest husband.
Oh yeah. I think I got a video of him bringing us coffee and cookies today. Okay, this is going to be good.
This will be perfect for the husband montage we're creating of Jeff, where we just capture him doing things for us all the time, like making us margaritas.
And he's kind of like a silent killer. Just comes in, does it,
leave, coming to my house and hanging my television.
And he's happy, genuinely.
He's the best.
So yeah, Valentine's Day is kind of fun.
You guys will have a nice time.
Yeah. And I think it's cute. You go right now, I'm just picturing there's cupcakes at whatever cafe and they've got cute little heart sprinkles. You know what I mean? It's just cute.
I really like Valentine's Day too, even as a single person. And now this year will be different. Normally I get together with the gals and we have a little Galentine's Day night, which is very cute and fun. Love hanging out with the girls. And we usually bring each other flowers or chocolates. And
do we? I don't remember.
Well, no, I don't know if you and I
even
me
remember.
And Katie and Susan and
yeah, you guys did something with Jess Neiman last year. I think
she
hosted you guys, which was
we had a cute little date night, and that's always super fun. This year, though, I'm going to be in Newfoundland. I'll probably be on my own Valentine's Day.
I was going to say revving up your engines on your sled.
On my sled. Oh yeah, I'm going to go skidooing. That's going to be a hoot.
Maybe I'll see a hot man on the trail.
Well, so the other day I had an astrology reading with Rebecca, who has been on our podcast. We'll link the show that she was on, but she's incredible. Sacred Starlight. And Kayla Short introduced us to her, and I had a reading because I was very skeptical about astrology, but I was like, all right, we'll give this a whirl. Anyways, I was totally blown away with her and everything she told me. And so I had another reading with her this year to hear about what is happening in my 33rd and 34th year. And I learned so much. First of all, this year, Mars is my ruling planet. I don't know if those are the right words, but she was bringing up casually, kept asking a few questions about dating. I was sort of just didn't realize what she was asking me. And then she was like, okay, Sarah, there's just some important dates in your chart where I think something's going to happen. And one of them is February 16th. And she's like, just keep an eye out for connections that happen there. She's like, they might be important.
I'm picturing you're stopping at a Tim Hortons in Newfoundland.
Well, that was the funniest thing. Is I'm going to be driving across the island by myself. So
someone else could be there also with their friends or family on a sled or skidooing. I call it sled, like whatever.
I'll be.
And you guys could just like cross paths, like
okay,
yeah, just strike up
at the gas station. They'll be fueling up their skidoo.
Maybe
I'll be fueling.
I don't know why I'm going like offline with this, but or, like,
I love this scenario.
The lines. I was just thinking like, and yeah, you need help pumping your gas. Not like, I mean, Sarah knows how to pump gas, but I just think this would be cute. Or you're like stuck.
This will be
stuck, and you're like, some guy comes out and like pulls you out.
This will be the best meet cute you've ever heard.
So you're like hops on the back and speed off.
On a skidoo. I love this one. I hope it happens. I think that would be so funny.
You're like, this is not exactly how I pictured meeting someone, but like, here we are. It's a good story. And it all started in Newfoundland.
There we go. Let's hope.
Anyway.
Fingers crossed. Keep you guys posted. I promise. Today, we've got a very fantastic guest. And in fact, if you're looking for something to wear on Valentine's Day, this gal can hook you up. Mm-hmm. We've got Joey Galipeau. She is the owner of Sweet Pea Boutique. If you are from Halifax or if you like shopping online, who doesn't? Let's be serious. She has got the best dresses, the best collection you will ever see.
I know. She's been around and like crushing it for so long.
15 years. She celebrated.
Yeah, her actual anniversary is literally like exactly 15 years. So Joey is just her story. She really shared a lot of personal things, like what happened behind the scenes, kind of as she was trying to make a transition from university to wanting to open her first store, which was Sweet Pea and still is her main store. But it's just like a really beautiful journey. And she's so happy, I feel like, meant to be doing exactly what she's meant to be doing.
Yeah, this is a really nice episode where rather than kind of talking about necessarily the whole business history, we more so talk about some of the really important transitions that has happened in her life over the last 15 years around Sweet Pea. So like Ashley said, like she went through a period after high school where she started university and was really struggling with that path and how she kind of stepped out of that to actually create Sweet Pea. We dive into that. And then we also talk about making decisions for your personal interests rather than just business decisions based on money, but actually like what you like in your life. And she's been great, I think, in doing that. It was really refreshing to kind of hear her take on that. And we also talk about going through a divorce. Well, she's had 3 businesses at one point and really like that happening on the personal side and just kind of honestly where she was and what she was feeling through that.
Yeah, and she went through so much at a young age. It's insane.
15 years is crazy because she's around our age. So like 19, basically. And
she knew, well, I don't want to give too much away, but she kind of like knew what didn't feel good and didn't feel right and then leaned into what she really wanted to.
This is a very great conversation about those important transitions and finding our own path in life. So enjoy. We hope you love this conversation with Joey. You can connect with her online at sweetpeahalifax.com and on Instagram at sweetpeahalifax as well. And lots of online shopping. Go find your V-Day looks.
All right, let's dive in. Spring is coming. Let's get the dresses going. All right, we are sitting around having a few Luvos and some French fries with our friend Joey. Welcome to the Rival Queen. You are back. We are back in the studio because we haven't been here in so long.
You are you're our second studio guest of 2022 in studio.
I love it.
Yay.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
We're just so happy to have you here. I'm so glad we got to do it in person.
I know. Me too.
It's an extra treat.
Listen, I've been doing so much online for the last 2 years. Give me personal connection, please.
It must be so crazy for your business too. It's like being a shop in a store where you were like used to interacting with customers face to face and like selling face to face. Like,
yeah, it's lonely to take something out of a box in a box and ship it away.
Yes. Yeah. And also just different. Like everything's then online.
Yeah.
Like so different than you probably get a high from interacting with people.
I like selling dresses is my second passion. My first passion is just people and helping them and talking to them and like women feeling so empowered with like what they're wearing. I really missed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That must make it so much more fulfilling seeing people happy and feeling good about themselves when they're trying on clothing too.
It's my favorite thing.
Oh, you're so good at
love
it. Like I can recall going into Sweet. Well, how long have you been?
It's coming up to 15 years.
What?
Wow.
What?
I
Wait,
know.
let's just put this into context
That's
though.
amazing.
Because how old are you?
34.
So like
Wow.
19.
I know.
That's crazy.
That is
Almost
crazy.
half my life.
That is like, my mind is blown.
But I can remember going into Sweet Pea. We didn't know each other, of course, 15 years ago. And you were always just so welcoming, so sweet, helpful. You can just really tell that you absolutely have such a passion for fashion. And like your heart, you can just tell like it's your store and you just really are so good at it.
Thank you.
That's why you're still around, Joey.
Thank you.
Also, it is such a feat to be around for 15 years.
It's crazy.
That is a long time. But also, I just have to give a shout out to your mother, who is so
Yes.
welcoming. I think it's so cute that she works with you in the store. And
She's
like,
the cutest. She was there today. She had her Uggs on. I was like, Mom, you're the best. She's my number one fan. She's my hype girl.
she is so, and she's like, she also is so welcoming when you're in the store. She's always like, oh, you look so cute in this.
I think she's
Yeah.
a really good complimenter.
She's a good sales girl. She's like, listen, you're only young once, just buy it. Like she hypes girls up. She's the best. She loves women.
What's her
she
name?
loves Jan.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Jan.
We
We
love
are
her.
your
I
I love her.
fans.
She's my best friend.
Aw.
Don't tell my other friends, but she's my best friend.
She's your number
I think
one.
that's like, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah.
And obviously she's so proud of you. You can just tell because she's like so happy to be there in Sweet Pea with you.
And someone you can rely on. I mean, I'm sure all your employees you can, maybe not, who knows, but your mom there running it.
It's family. It's a lot better when it's family. You just trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can be honest. So take us back to the beginning because like you just blew my mind. 19 Sweet Pea began. How did this even happen?
It's funny, I was talking to my mom today. It's probably 15 years ago, like right now. I was at home. It was like almost midnight. I walk into the kitchen. I'm like, listen, Mom, Dad, sit down. Tuition's due tonight at 12.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't been to class this semester. So it was end of January, hadn't been to class yet. I would wake up in the morning. I was living at home, going to St. Mary's. Wake up in the morning, pretend to go to class, and then when they left to go to work, I was back in bed.
What? That's brave.
Like I just couldn't bring myself to go.
You hated it.
I hated it. Looking back now, it was definitely a form of depression that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just knew I was tired. I couldn't go. I hated it.
What were you doing in school?
Like Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in class being like, where the F am I going with this? Like,
Yeah.
I
Why
just
am I
couldn't
learning
see
this?
Oh, your
my
like
path.
body and your soul was
I
like,
didn't
this
like
is
it
not
either.
for me.
Yeah. I didn't know, like, where,
you-
I couldn't picture where my life was going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't that I did go, 90% of the
Yeah.
time, but I knew it didn't align. It didn't feel as right. But like, that's going to be hard to be 19, trying to, go on this adventure and journey into university and just be so turned off kind of by even
early
going.
on.
Yeah.
And everybody is doing it. I mean, you guys remember your high school fair?
Yeah.
It's like you go to the same, I grew up in Halifax, so it's either X, Acadia, SMU, Dow, like nothing else
Maybe
was
the
even
Mount.
acceptable, right? Like it was, you had to go to one of these post-secondary. There was no other option. Like,
Yeah.
man, looking back on it, I would have gone to community college, accounting, PR, anything, like some
Yes.
sort of like 1-year diploma, but it's just not the path that you were supposed to go down. So you're in school, you're paying all this money, all of your friends are doing it, no one else seems to be complaining. We're all just doing it. And
Right.
it felt really lonely, and I was really confused as to why this wasn't working for me.
So what was that conversation
hard.
like with your parents?
I was terrified. They both SMU, my sister was SMU. Like I grew up in that very
Your
traditional
parents
family.
went to SMU as well?
Yes, yeah. So it wasn't just the leaving university, but like never in my life. I mean, I had good grades. I was vice president of my high school. Like I was always super into school.
Yeah.
I never pictured not going to university. So it was terrifying. So scared. Told my dad I thought he was going to kill me. He was actually okay with it. They were like, you need a plan then. If you're
Yeah.
dropping out, you need a plan. At this point, I was working 2 jobs, one at Envy and one at a jewelry store. Loved sales, loved retail. And this is back in 2007. Like leggings weren't even a thing at the time.
Oh my God, remember pre-legging world?
Pre-leggings. I remember wearing leggings to the Dome one time and people looked at me like I was crazy. Like it was just, so dresses weren't a thing. And I was like, I want to open up a dress store. So,
and especially too, because Halifax is not, now it's a little different, but even still, we don't have a lot of shopping that's outside of the malls. That's like where you're seeing new, and I remember when Sweet Pea was early, because you carried designers and stuff, like up and coming designers in the early days for sure.
Like Katrina Tuttle, who's like super successful wedding designer now.
Yeah. And
she was 19 when she started. So this is a 19-year-old designer coming to me and I put her in the shop.
And I bought a couple of her dresses, like, and used to carry one size of all of them. So again, it wasn't
I had one back in the day. Yeah. It was,
And
crazy.
that is like a different mentality. Halifax has come a long way in terms of retail. And we had this conversation with Oslam when she was on. But then in 2007, it was not like a fashion forward place at all.
Because we didn't have the option. It was either the mall or Love It, like all dressed up, but that's really expensive. So I was like, where's that lane for girls who want to not shop big box store, but also can't afford a $600 dress? I'm like, where is that?
To go to the Dome.
Yeah. Where's my Dome dress?
Yeah. I need to look cute. It's Friday.
Or a Wednesday or a Thursday or Sunday. Like there was just never, we just didn't have that option. So I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to open a dress shop.
Good.
Yeah.
So you kind of flipped that switch from dropping out of university, having that conversation, knowing that you liked retail, obviously fashion, and is that kind of, did you start to devise a plan right away, or did it take time?
Because I just want to put this in here for context. Like now you can be like, I want to start a shop and start tomorrow, because we've got Shopify and the internet and things like that. Like, you didn't have these resources. So how the hell did you figure this out?
Yeah.
And you didn't have
Exist.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, are you even a business without Instagram?
Dun, dun, dun.
So my parents were adamant that I had to do something. So we started the next day on my business plan. And back in the day, again, this was right before the dress trend really kicked off. So I researched probably 35 brands. Each one of those brands only had one dress in it. Like it was a struggle to find those. Like, and I had to go to Toronto. Like you really had to like get on the pavement and make ground. Like the internet was not what it is today. So we did my business plan. I found some suppliers. I went to the bank. I got a $20,000 loan. And then my mom and I went driving around downtown to find spaces just to kind of suss out how much it was to put in the business plan. We're driving down Queen Street and I see this like man working on a building and there's a for lease sign up in it. So we went and we looked. So I dropped out in January, end of January. I had Sweet Pea open in May.
Oh my gosh. That's 3 months basically.
Yeah.
So you knew. You just went fast track.
My dad helped me put the little racks up. Like it's such a mom and pop feeling store. Like my parents have helped me from day one. I couldn't have done it without their support. 100%.
To be fair though, like that's a semester. So in a semester you chose to drop out and have your business
Maybe
open by the
business.
summer.
Yes.
That's where real school happens.
What an effective semester of like learning.
Exams for me were opening my store.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to pay things and budget and
and $20,000 loan, like that's hilarious. I think when I first opened Sweet Pea, I think I only had like 8 things hanging in there.
But like so little money, but also when you're 19, it probably feels like a lot of money.
It was a lot.
Because how do you get $20,000 if you blow that?
You don't. Like my parents co-signed for that. But I think also I needed to be naive. And 19, we're like, yeah, $20,000 is a lot, but what did that really mean to me? I was living at home. I didn't have kids. Like I definitely had the opportunity and the support to take that leap.
Yeah.
So what did it feel like when those doors first opened and you started selling and people were talking and like how long did that take to kind of build some momentum and excitement?
I still remember like my very first sale. It was one of my girlfriends. Like I remember like the dress. I remember the sale. I had my little dress on. I was so excited. People sent me flowers. I felt very like business professional, but Instagram didn't exist. Websites weren't a thing.
How did you promote yourself in those days?
I don't know. Faces Magazine? Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was a good
Kyle
one.
Turk.
Yeah. But it was really just people kind of organically discovering places downtown and people walking around.
Word of mouth.
Yeah. My sweet mom reached out to a few newspapers, and in August, I think his name was Sean Flynn. I remember the article. He wrote about me in the Globe and Mail.
Oh, wow.
That weekend, I had so many customers coming in who were on the plane who had read my article about this 19-year-old opening a dress shop, and from that was really like the moment, the big break where it got busy.
Oh,
Wow.
and it stayed busy since. Like
It's stayed busy.
This is what I can't. 15 years.
It feels like a year or 50 years. Like it's like the time is just, it's crazy.
It must be interesting too, because we would have been kind of in the early stages of Sweet Pea and hearing about it. And then we still go and shop there, and like people have evolved with you.
Yeah, but customers are coming in with babies now, or like when their baby came in when I opened, they're now 17 years old. Like it's crazy to kind of evolve with my customer. It's definitely a community. Like it's just really awesome to see where people have kind of come and gone, moved away, come back. I love it. It's
And
awesome.
you're still there waiting for them, for their
Just get to,
special
like,
moments.
Interact with like awesome women and men. Like there's some great men shoppers that come in. Like it's a great job.
It's really, and I don't want to jump too far ahead because you've had a really interesting journey in between, but let's just, like, it's also nice that you're in the same place that you started.
I just bought my building.
But you just bought your building.
I know.
You
Isn't that
like
crazy?
cemented. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so huge.
Whew, that took a lot of energy. Buying commercial is crazy.
Really?
Yeah. But it was my baby. And
it's downtown. Like that's going to be a good investment.
I hope so.
I
I
is
put
a good
everything
investment.
into
I know so.
it. Yeah.
I know so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good investment. That property is going to be highly valuable, but it's also just for you, I feel like such a full circle moment at 15 years to like that's now your home.
Yeah.
Like no one can take that away from you.
Does that feel relief?
Relief.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. To not have your destiny in your own hands and constantly be worried, am I going to get kicked out? Are they going to tear it down? Like the amount of emotional turmoil I've been put in like over the years. And I've eaten more meals in the bathroom of Sweet Pea than I have at my own house. Like it's my home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
now it's officially your home for as long as you want it to be.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice just to like put that stake in the ground where you started the business and just know that like you've grown up there and this is where you belong. And
And I feel like people associate that White House, like the location with your brand and you. So
it's like this. I've
awesome.
wildly outgrown it years ago, but I don't know, it wouldn't feel right to be in this giant open space that didn't have character and didn't feel like you were walking. It feels like a home. Like
It
used to
does.
be a house.
There's an old fireplace in there, isn't there? Yeah.
So
Love that.
between opening the doors of Sweet Pea, now officially, congratulations, owning the building that Sweet Pea is housed in. You've had other parts of this adventure. Like, what has that journey been? Where have you tried to expand? Can you talk us through kind of some of the expansion you went through and the changes over the years?
Yes. So I think 3 years into owning Sweet Pea, I opened up a shop inside the Shop of Mills.
Yeah.
They were kind of doing this new rebrand. Mickey McDonald came to me. I opened up a more casual store, and then I opened up a shoe store. So there I was like 3 years later, and I had 3 stores. Oh man, it was a lot.
What was that called?
Twisted Muse.
I remember going. It was a little more Sweet Pea's very soft
Very,
and feminine.
This was separates and a little bit
edgier.
more cash.
Different stuff.
For anyone listening who's not from Halifax, like Mills was a staple in the city. It's no longer
I miss
there.
it.
I know, it was an icon.
It was an icon. My mother worked at Mills. It was like it was definitely a Halifax staple. And when you moved in there, they were like rethinking the space and how they managed
and that's
it.
when House of Moda opened up there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was this awesome little
mall.
community. Yeah, yeah. But it was tough.
But it's nice that you're still nearby all those businesses that kind of have all like
love
grown
it.
together.
So what was that experience like? Because again, you're at this point 22, so you're still so young. You're only 3 years into business. Sweet Pea's going well.
Sweet Pea's going very well. I had more employees. A lot of my employees for the first part of my business life were all older than me. And I never really got into what I do. I know this now. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. I don't love managing people. Like, that's not why I do what I do. So as soon as I had 3 stores, I might as well have had 50. It was just managing the people. It lost the love and the passion for what I did was just gone.
The charm of it.
Yes. Yeah. So it was doing well. It was fine. But I felt like I'm a little bit of a control freak and a little bit of a workaholic. And I was like, I can't be in 3 different places at once. And I don't know what the solution is to that.
Right.
Did it feel like too much too quickly, kind of?
Yeah, it just felt like a lot. It was a lot. The 2 was fine. The 3rd was like, shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
And like I knew right away. It was just too much to take on. It was a lot.
So how did you then navigate that?
Well, in the meantime, I had also just gotten married. So I was married at the age of 23. So
Same.
Yeah,
We're the same age.
You
yeah.
two are crazy. Because like when
Dropped
Ash
at a
and I met,
university.
yeah, and when Ash and I met her and Jeff, who are my favorite couple. We all have couple goals. It's always Ashley and Jeff. Let's be honest. Everyone listening.
Sorry to everyone else. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you know what? Everyone listening to this podcast agrees. You're their couple goals.
I mean, we're not perfect, but we have our moments.
Yeah. Well, okay. Whatever. Behind curtains. Don't let me see that. I'm just joking. But I think it's crazy because when Ash told me she got married at 23, I was like, what was I doing at 23? Like I was definitely outside the ale house.
The dome still.
At the dome in your leggings.
Drunk, not married.
in the leg.
Yeah, in leggings, in some dress. Who knows where it was from? Totally. So that's
Whipping
crazy.
your
So you
hair
got
around.
married at 23 too. So suddenly you've got 3 businesses. You're newly married
Yep. And I'm just 23 years old.
with all of that change happening at once.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And when I look back on things now, everything that I did that I was the most unhappy with was because I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do. I was just following that like society norms, checking off the boxes.
Yeah.
Anytime I do that, it never works out for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important lesson. We talk about this a lot. And that like
But I think we're very aware of it.
we're very aware of it because like I'm home doing my soul work every night, which is like my joke. But also it is like this thing where we're not taught to how to make decisions and how to follow our heart or our path or our purpose. We're taught how to just like do the thing that we deem as successful.
Yeah.
And
That
just
people
follow the path.
Whoever told us.
And what you see, like you
Yeah.
see it on shows,
Yep.
you see it, you read about it. But I
Yep.
think now, obviously, people realize there's so many other options.
Yeah.
And especially we're all in our mid 30s and,
Yeah.
just living our
People
lives.
are breaking through. But
Yeah.
you want the white picket fence, the 2.5 kids, I don't know, we just grew
I
up
hate
with all
that.
these
Live in the
things.
suburbs.
Yes. But we just do it and we just follow the path that everybody else is on.
And I think there's a lot of people that still are on those paths. And my husband and I often talk about that. And everyone has a different, kind of like happiness, but I think I would not be happy.
Living in the suburbs, like that as a concept, has never, ever appealed to me. I remember even being like 20 years old and a friend of ours at the time, like just talking about her dream was like to get married and have kids and take them to soccer practice on Saturdays. And as she was describing this to me, I was like cringing. There's nothing wrong with that, but it was just like so early on in my life that I was like, that is not what I want.
Or you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, I was jealous of people who knew that.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Right.
that's what I think
Their
too.
conviction for that path is so strong. Like I wish I had that because I was just felt like I was sitting in the dark by myself, not
Yeah.
seeing what everybody else was seeing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Totally.
When really you have a different path and we just aren't
And I didn't
kind of
listen
told
to
how
it.
to navigate
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, so how did your relationship pan out? Like, did you start to feel things? Because you're saying
Take
that
us through this time in your life.
Things,
Yes.
things didn't feel like they were fitting as you thought they would, like business wise as well.
yeah, I was just looking at my life and I was like, oh, I was on this great path of designing it, and then all of a sudden it became like a default. Like I was just living it, and it wasn't my authentic self. And I don't want to blame anybody because I made the choice to get married, but I really did feel like I was taught at a young age because I did grow up fairly religious. So you have to be married to live with a guy. So this was the next step. It's like we wanted to live together, so like that it's marriage, right? Like that's just what I thought. So we get married. I'm like, oh no, this is not like I don't know what love is because I don't think I had experienced it. But is this it?
Yeah.
Just like a big wah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah. So just I don't know. And my parents have always told me to like trust my gut.
Yeah.
And when you're not trusting your gut, it just feels awful.
So how did you start to kind of admit this to yourself?
Saying it is again, another really scary moment. Hindsight, when I look back, my scariest moment when I was terrified to talk to my dad, terrified to say, you know what, I don't want the businesses, terrified to say I need a divorce. Those moments where I really like embraced the fear and pushed through it are the ones that have been the most rewarding to me. So I just now knowing that it's like, listen to that. We run away from fear a lot, and it's actually like it's guiding you to where you need to go. So I said it out loud, and you know what? It actually wasn't that bad. You want to close the store? And I talked to Mickey McDonald. He is a great Halifax businessman. He let me out of my leases. So I closed the 2 stores, moved Twisted to behind Sweet Pea in the same building that I own. That was a lot more manageable. Got the divorce, and then I was finally like just shedding myself of all of these things that felt like a burden or a weight. Met my partner. Well, I've known him previously, but we got together, and I was like, you know what? I don't want the 2 stores. I just want my baby, Sweet Pea. So by 25, I had closed 2 stores and gotten a divorce.
Wow. That's crazy. So it wasn't at all a business decision. It was like a soul decision.
It's like a feeling.
Oh, didn't feel right.
Yeah. Like,
Didn't feel
I
right.
was making money. Not enough to make it amazing. Not enough to pay people to do everything. I was still grinding.
Yeah.
It just, I mean,
But
money's never driven me for things. It's always been my lifestyle. Yeah.
Like you just wanted to focus on the one thing that made you happy.
Yeah, not stretched thin and not too much of a workaholic. Now I'm just the perfect amount of a workaholic.
I think that's a really important lesson and something that we don't often honor enough. And it's like sometimes we do get into these places where we're just doing things and it's like we've bitten off more than we can chew.
And you know when that happens.
You don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
But you're right.
And
if
you
just say
feel it.
Yes.
We all have that great little gut feeling, and we know. And we don't listen to it enough.
That's like, uh-oh. And it's either like you need to ask for help or you need to just be honest with yourself that this like isn't working.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like there's such a stigma around fear and failure, and they are the best things for your body to listen to. And they have resulted in the best things for me.
That is great. So this is just like a lot to process at 25. Like, how are you feeling?
So many lives.
Again,
already.
I come back to that support system that I have. Like, it is so important to have people who just have your back. And luckily, that's been my family from day one. And then just really great friends and just really leaning in on those people that want the best for you, even if the best sometimes is like kind of ugly. Yeah. Like going through a divorce. Oh my God. Telling my parents I was dropping out of university, nothing compared to divorce. Like they're 45 years married, religious, like, oh Lord, that was tough.
How is it? How did they take that?
It took a while for them to come around to that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's such a mentality, I think, I'm not saying my parents are like this, but definitely of that generation. It's like you made a decision.
Yeah. So you have to make that work.
Yeah, figure it out. But that is so terrible. And I wouldn't advise that to anyone. Like,
but
do
also,
what makes you happy.
Yeah, but also when you're coming at it from the standpoint that you can't move in together unless you're married. Like, of course you're going to choose to get married if you want to try that. But it's like you don't even get the test period to see if it works.
How did people do that back in the day? I don't know. You need to test drive everything before you own anything.
Because it wouldn't be necessarily the physical, I'm your wife, you're my husband, we're married. It's like, the life together now that you live, you know what I mean? Like everything's under one roof, and then you really can.
And you're together every day. My parents lived together before they got married.
Mine too.
In sin, and people weren't happy about it.
No, but you absolutely need to do that.
But they, like, this is crazy, and they just kind of like ignored the religious part of it and did it.
Yeah, and like, no offense to anyone, but I just feel like it's a little antiquated to figure out. You need to figure out a lot about each other before you make a lifetime commitment.
Well, I think it's dangerous if you're not allowed to change your decision down the road.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you can't then say like
you need
this
a
was
trial
a mistake,
period.
I need to get divorced.
And I don't know, like growing up, divorce, like that was such a crazy concept that just wasn't a part of my, like I didn't know a lot of divorced people. There was definitely the thing that lingered the longest with that process for me was almost the embarrassment and shame.
Interesting.
So the sadness was gone, the anger was gone, but it took a while to get over the embarrassment of like making that wrong choice and going through with it and then having to like backpedal.
I think that is a really, it's like feels like a personal, I don't want to say failure, but it is something like you feel like, you didn't trust yourself or how did you get here or something like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear you say that because, obviously, not obviously, but I've never been married. So I can't relate to that at all, but I can only imagine that there would be that element of, and it's not that anyone else outside of you cares, but it's just like...
You just put so much on it, like the shower, the bachelorette party, like wearing the dress. Like it's just such a production. And then to like be like, oh, just kidding. Didn't work for me. Like
but this isn't going to work out. Yeah.
Because you've involved everybody at this point. This isn't just between you two. Now your families are connected. It's just it's messy. It's messy and it takes a lot out of you. I don't think I'll ever get married again. I commend people who can like work past that. But I just don't think for me... it's something I want to do.
I've never thought of that, but I can totally understand how you could feel that way, especially if you're like, yeah, you care about those around you, or you're just like empathetic, or like, you know what I mean?
You've done that. You know,
I did
if
it.
you don't want to do it again, don't do it again.
And now I'm with like my love of my life soulmate. Like he's my person. And I don't feel like I need that to solidify what we have. We just show up for each other every day.
Oh,
so I'm so happy. But man, I mean, I was put through the ringer emotionally at a very young age.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is very young. And
how long did you feel like you were going through that process?
You're always in it a lot earlier. Like when you finally tell people that you need help or that you're not happy with whatever your situation is, you have been emotionally out of it for a long time.
Right.
Like anytime I hear someone, they're like, oh, I just got, like my divorce just went through. I'm like, congratulations. Because that process is the easiest. It's the stuff you did for the last few years leading up to actually making that decision. And you do it really privately sometimes because you don't want to really like, what if we don't get divorced? I'm not going to like air our dirty laundry. Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you're feeling something in a moment and then goes a different direction, whatever direction.
Yeah, I think it's great that you know what? I just commend you for going through it, because I think it's probably a much lonelier path than we realize. And
there's probably someone listening right now.
There's good stuff on the other side.
Feels that way.
Like I think that part is crazy.
I just think like we shouldn't. I wish I didn't have a shame and embarrassment around those things. Again, I say hindsight. Like it led to the best things in my life. So I wish I had embraced the hurt and the anger and the sadness a little bit more, because that is okay and that's being human. But I felt like I shouldn't. Like, we just try to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're so excited for you. I'm just so excited. Now I'm wrapping my head around 15 years at Sweet Pea, and I just want to go shopping.
I know. We're going to go on a shopping
Sarah and I both have COVID, so now we're feeling a little bit safer about our lives, and we're ready, as Sarah would say, to get glammed.
To get glammed and to go out into the world and to go for a shopping trip at Sweet Pea. Joey, thank you for telling us. Okay, wait, before we
got deep.
I know, but
I love it.
But I love it too, because we've never talked about divorce on the podcast. And I think it's important to kind of go into these personal sides of our business, because even when we're managing things on the surface, like no one's seeing what's going on underneath. And it's a lot to connect. Like, how did you manage the business during that period? Like, how was the business?
Thank God I had the business, It was like such a good distraction. And I got to, again, see like awesome people every day. Like it is my home. It's my baby. It's where I love to be. So it was just nice to have that. And it's nice to know like you're fighting for something to like get back to that feeling.
Like stay connected to your passion.
I love it.
And your calling.
But I do like to share my story, because I think sometimes we glamorize things in our heads. And it's like, you know what? Even people that you think might have a really awesome life or a cool job, like everyone's struggling. Everyone goes through hard times. Like, I don't know.
I also really like your path to your business. Like you said, you were 19 years old. You dropped out of school to start this, but it's been your like education, and you've honored the choices you made that you didn't like. You've wheeled them back and found a way to keep the passion for the business, which is probably why you've been around for 15 years.
I love it. If I wasn't selling dresses, I think I'd just be sitting there waiting for people to come visit me. Just standing in an empty building.
Yeah, someone talk to me.
What's some of the best business advice you've gotten or that you've learned over the years through your business?
Oh my gosh, I've learned so much by trial and error. And I think that's the one thing is like you can't know everything.
Right.
The best advice I think is that if you don't keep growing and learning and changing, you just get stale. And then also just being authentic to who you are and like what your business stands for. I think like don't try to copy what people have. Just do what feels right for you, and it's probably going to end up okay as long as there's like authenticity behind it.
That feels so you, because I feel like you've just from your personal life to your business life like followed that thing, and look how it's turned out.
Yeah,
so
trust your gut. Business, love, life, everything. Just trust that little voice inside of you.
And be you. There's no other Joey. Like just be. There's no other Sarah and Ashley.
No other Ashley.
Just be you.
The other thing that I just want to pull out from this conversation, because I think I just think it's important, is like that you said you're not so much motivated by the money behind things, but it's more of the lifestyle. I think that's like an important thing for people to reflect on. Some people are really motivated by money. I'm also not one of those people. It's a really short-term motivator for me. It's more of like the balance of my life, and do I get to have all the other things that I want, like that without it. But I don't think we always trust our gut or kind of be honest about the things that are important to us.
Yeah.
And it's not to say you can't have both.
No, and it changes throughout your life. Like
But it's just about what actually motivates you.
Yeah.
Like money does not.
No. What's your
motivate me.
why? And
Yeah.
even if it is money, it's actually not money. It's something deeper than that. Is it security? Is it providing for your family? Like, I
And it
don't know.
might not just be like an actual, dollar sign. If this happens, like X will happen. Some people like I don't get excited about money in necessarily like just a materialistic way, but I'm kind of competitive with myself. Like that kind of like say I'm like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah, like beating Boxing Day sales from
like-
last year.
yeah.
It has nothing to do about the actual amount. It's just like
Fun.
being good at what you do.
And kind of like having
Yeah.
these like goals.
Yes.
But like obviously there's financial things tied to them. But I know what you're saying. You're not just saying, oh, I need to do this and this is going to make me happy because I'm going to make lots of money. Like, no.
But for some people, like that is a motivator. But I think it's also we don't honor enough kind of the other motivations for how we design things or how like that there are other motivations that are okay for business and for your career and
Yes.
stuff,
They need to all like mesh together. And
which is kind of cool.
all right, Joey, before we play our favorite game, what is lighting you up right now? What are you really amped about?
I think that January is ending on
Fair.
Tuesday.
Fair.
January in retail is just like a garbage month.
Is it?
Yeah.
No
I
matter
think for
what.
a lot of
Yeah,
it's a hard
sucks.
month.
Everyone's like,
Hate to be negative, but it's a sucky month.
yeah. Everyone's off the high of the holidays,
Yes.
hunkering down,
Yeah, it's
saving
cold.
money.
Everyone's depressed about how much money they just
Yeah.
spent
It's-
at the holidays.
Like Tuesday, I'm excited for Tuesday. It's February 1st. We're moving forward. The sun
Valentine's Day is
yeah,
coming.
It's just all good.
Go get a cute dress for your
I
boo
know.
thing.
Your little date or your Galentine's.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And like I think it's an important time of year to make sure you're taking care of yourself and feeling good and checking in and go see Joey and brighten your day.
Yeah, come say hi.
Get a cute dress. That's what we'll be doing. I can't wait.
Or don't, because I don't want to sell you something you don't love.
Yes.
Just go in
But
and
go
talk
in
to her.
and see if there's anything you
That
find that
sparks
gets
joy.
you,
Yeah.
gets you excited. It would be impossible not to, if we're being honest. All right, Joey, we have come to the time in the episode where we play our favorite game called
Yeah.
Queenie Grams. It is very easy.
I'm just going to eat
You're
a French
ready.
fry.
All you have to do is pick a number between 1 and 144, and I'm going to ask you a question. We're all going to answer it. Then we'll each pick a number and do the same. So you go first.
Okay.
What number would you like?
Let's do 15.
15 for
Yeah.
15 years.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, if you go gray, would you dye your hair or let it go?
That's a good
Well,
one.
I love being very blonde. So I feel like I'd embrace the gray a little bit, but use a lot of purple shampoo to make it like silvery.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
like-
just some like
Just
gray
good
highlights.
toner. Yes. Like
Good
keep
toner.
it really like white blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, if that's your look, you can do that.
Some people
Yeah.
pull it
Like
off.
make it really edgy.
Yeah.
Like still polished. Gray but polished.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good.
Yeah.
Because that's like a thing. You
Beautiful.
can go in and get that
Oh,
really
yeah.
toned.
I mean, we spend thousands of dollars trying to get our hair that color.
I've
your blonde
recently,
looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I recently looked at my budget at an annual level, or just kind of interested in how much money I sort of spend in different areas, and what I spend on my hair. It's not bad, but it's just like more than I thought on an annual basis.
See, I don't think I get mine done every
I
couple
know
months.
it's not so much that, but it's like that and my lashes and a few other things. I was like, I'm spending. It wasn't a bad thing. I was just like an awareness thing of like,
It adds up.
it does add
But
up.
we like-
It does.
like
but
it.
it feels so good.
No, I'm not
love
changing it.
Yeah,
I'm
no
very
shame.
happy with what I do, but it was just like,
It's my nail budget. That's
Yeah.
a big, but I love it. And
I know,
feel
'cause it comes around
finished.
fast.
Oh yeah, every 3 weeks. It's a big
Yeah.
chunk of cash.
Yeah, that's like I get my lashes in every 3 weeks, and that's the same. Mine are in a bad state. My sister's going to kill me because I've been rubbing my eyes. Anyways.
Jennifer Murphy.
Don't tell her. Ashley, pick a number for us, will you? Oh wait, are you going to go gray?
No.
Either way.
I mean, I will at some point, but I'm not going to embrace. I don't have any gray or white that I can see, so I'm very lucky and thankful. And also that we all have lighter hair. I think it's a
Yeah.
bit easier to kind of like.
And this is like
Blend.
40 years down the road, right?
100%. We're talking in our
This is very
70s.
hypothetical.
Yeah, very hypothetical.
Like my mom is, not quite as blonde as me, but she's relatively quite blonde. And sometimes she's not overly gray, but her hair will kind of come in. You can't really notice it.
no.
Looks beautiful.
We're lucky.
All right, Ashley, please pick a number for me. Madame.
140.
140. Let me see what we have here. I'm just like,
Going high.
What would you be doing if you had a different career? Oh, I really want to hear Joe's answer to this. I like this question.
What would we all be doing? I've thought about this before, and so I work in tech, and Sarah and I do the podcast. Like, I used to do design, interior stuff, and construction. I would 100%, I feel like revert back into that life because I just love it so much. If I had more time, I would do it, but I just don't.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I want to like flip houses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. That is very you. Very you.
Yeah. Like it like scratches that. Like I'm itching to move right now because I need like a creative project.
I don't know that I've known you to live in a place this long as you've lived
it's crazy.
at the Queen's Mark. It is wild. Joey, what about you? What would you be doing?
Interior is one of my like hobbies. Mine's very dark. I'm very, very opposite of Sweet Pea, but my actual other career, I would be a couples therapist.
Oh,
I would love to do that.
Ooh,
that's kind of fun.
yeah.
I like that answer.
That is a fun answer. Like very opposite to what
Very
you do.
opposite.
Yeah. I think I would be in some sort of a performance setting, whether it's acting.
You could be an actor.
Yeah. I think that's just like, that is just like a soul. I'm supposed to be in front of people. I
thought you were going to say something different.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say like a professional chef or something.
No, I like
okay.
cooking is like my thing. I like cooking for people as like a gift to them. I don't want a restaurant. I'd rather entertain people. That's like my, that is my
This would be
thing.
great. We can have like, we could team up and do some design things. Sarah could like host the show and Joey and I could be on it and we'll like all riff together.
I love that.
She could style us as well.
I'm going to do 42 here, which is what is a sexy name? We haven't had this one in a while. And normally the answers come to me really quickly.
One just came to
Like
me.
a real one?
Yeah, like what name do you think is sexy?
I just played that like porn star name game with my boyfriend the other day and we died laughing.
Well, what?
Because it's your first pet and the street you live on.
Oh yeah.
And mine was Snoopy Normandy. And it's the funniest.
Mine would be Judy Bridges.
Ooh.
That's an okay one,
is good.
actually.
What is it? Pet name and street.
And street.
So we only had goldfish, and my goldfish, his name was Daisy.
Oh.
And I lived on Birch Lane, so it'd be Daisy Birch.
Daisy
pretty
Birch and Judy Bridges and Snoopy Normandy.
Oh my God, sexy.
That's what you meant, right? Like our porn star names?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so funny.
We'll go with that.
We will go with that. But I don't know what a sexy name would be if I pick. I always go for like a Hispanic name for some
Roberto
reason.
just came to me.
Ooh.
Like that.
But you got to say it
Like
with like
exotic.
Roberto.
Yes.
Roberto.
Yes.
Yeah. I like
I'm
that
picturing
one.
a guy, really good-looking tan guy, serving us drinks by the pool. That's like what I pictured. His name was Roberto.
I'm like thinking of names right now. For some reason, Jorge's coming up. I don't know why.
We need to go south.
We need to go south. That's really what my body, my soul is telling me.
Joey, any come into your head?
Sexy names?
Like, do we go opposite and go with like a Todd or a Chad? Like something really plain.
Is that
You
sexy
could.
to you?
No.
I also always like the
Lola?
name Lola is a good name. Jasmine sometimes I like. Yeah. I don't know. What's in your heart and
I
soul?
don't know, because
Anything?
I'm so drawn to personality.
Yeah.
So like an Eleanor who's like really a sweet person.
Or Ruth, like a
Yes,
really sexy
yeah.
Ruth.
I love it.
Well, you know what? We're gonna give Eleanor some love today.
She's smart and she's kind and she'll win us over.
You know what? She's probably got a cute little dress on she got from Sweet Pea too. She's looking like a 10. Joey, thank you so much for coming on with us
This is
today.
so fun. Thank you guys for having me.
And drinking Luva.
Drinking
and eating
Luva.
French fries.
This is like a proper girl chat. Like I loved it. Where can
Yes.
people find you online, and where can we find Sweet Pea?
Sweet Pea Halifax is my Instagram. sweetpeahalifax.com is my brick and mortar. Or no, my e-com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which just launched like right before COVID, thank God. And then 1542 Queen Street, downtown Halifax.
Ooh, we'll tag all that in the show notes so you guys can go check her
Amazing.
out.
Thank you guys. Thanks for the
Thank
rosé.
you. Thanks for
So
coming.
yummy.
I love it.